What's up, everybody? How's it going today? Evening ride. Well, not an evening ride. Same time as always, but it's getting darker, getting a little cooler outside. It's getting a little cold in the mornings, but I'll tell you what, this windshield does a pretty good job keeping the air off me. Talked about that before. If you haven't seen that video when I introduced it, you know, go check it out, go find it, go check it out. But as it's getting cooler, I'm pretty happy with it. It's keeping the air off of me, a lot of the air off of me, and it's helping out. Today, I don't know. If you don't like rants or political views, you should probably turn away. I don't do this a lot on my channel. I don't really know if I've done it before. If I have, maybe once. I know I've given on my opinion on a few things and some advice on things I've experienced and things in life. This, however, is not those things. What I want to talk about today is the whole thing about these protests and these movements and, you know, such and such lives matter. Yeah, nice turn signal. That's why you got rear-ended once before. Didn't use it till you were actually turning. But what I wanted to say, I'm not gonna specify the Black Lives Matter or the Blue Lives Matter or anything like that specifically. You guys can kind of figure out what this is about by what I'm gonna reference. My reference being the fact that just here, by the time you guys see this, it's going to be a week or so, a couple weeks. Maybe it's not relevant to you anymore, but the shooting in Charlotte, North Carolina, where I used to live. An officer shot and killed a man. Okay. There's plenty of other facts, but it wasn't a white on black. The officer was black, the man was black, okay? I don't have all the facts. I'm not trying to get into it. There was a statement made by somebody claiming to be his daughter that he was in his car reading a book, stopped reading a book, and got shot. That's what she said. The officers and witnesses say, well, the officers say they saw him get out of a vehicle or get into a vehicle, one or the other. They saw him with what looked to be a weapon. So as they were approaching, stopped him and approaching him, I guess there's witnesses. Like I said, I wasn't there, I'm not a witness, don't jump on me, but the witnesses, there are witnesses that say they could clearly hear the officers telling him to drop a weapon, and whatever happened from there, I don't even know what happened from there, what he didn't do. Again, I'm not gonna get into it because I don't know. But the fact of the matter is, at some point the officer felt threatened and fired his weapon, and the guy died. Now, I don't want to see that. I don't want to hear about that every day. I don't want to see it. I don't care what color it is, what color anybody is, the person, the officer, you know. I don't want to see a police officer shoot somebody and that person dies. Period. Don't care where it takes place, what race the people involved are. It's a bad situation no matter how you look at it. Doesn't matter how you look at it. Bad situation. Now, what took place afterwards and the rioting, as the news is calling it, the protesters, there are laws that define what a protest is, and protests are legal. When you block the highway, stop vehicles, force the people to get out, there's truckers, force them to get out, make them open their trucks, pull stuff out of their trucks, put it on the road and set it on fire, that's not a protest. When you go, they broke into a Walmart and stole some stuff. When you break into a Walmart or any store, that's not a protest, that's a riot. When the police do come, which they are always at protest events, they're there, always. But then it turns into people are throwing stuff at cops, throwing rocks. There were police officers injured. I don't know the extent of the injuries, but there were injuries. That's not a protest, that's rioting. My opinion on what should have happened, and again, I don't care who it is. I don't care what race the people who are rioting are, because I'm not even going to call them protesters. I'm going to call them rioters, because that's what they were. If you're rioting, that's against the law. In my opinion, you get to go to jail. I feel like at that point, the front line of the police who have the shield, all the gear on and the shields and the batons, whatever, I feel like at a riot, not a protest, but a riot, which is what it was, but that front line of police should be able to have such things as the tasers and the beanbag guns and even real guns. And if the threat is that big and police officers are getting injured, the threat is that big, you're harming police officers, they should be able to apprehend those people. Not everybody there. People who are just protesting should be left to protest. But if you see someone, if you're on that front line and you're an officer and you see someone throw something at you, it hits you, they're setting stuff on fire near you, whatever, you're in danger, you should be able to use the necessary force to apprehend that person. Now, they got gear on, they're in a line, they're not going to do it, that's fine. You push, what riot police do, they push forward and try to disperse. Well, I believe you should be able to basically incapacitate somebody. They're on the ground, you push forward, and a second line of police officers behind them, they get them with the restraints and take them to jail. Regardless of race or whatever. If you're rioting, that's what I believe should happen. Okay? Period. Now, I've been stopped before by cops. I ran from a cop before. Not really. I didn't run. I went a couple 100 yards and I was in a car and, you know, I was in a parking lot. I wasn't doing anything. I was waiting on some friends, but cop came through because it was a private business. We saw him. We closed the door, we took off. Don't know why, because we weren't doing anything. I went a couple 100 yards and I stopped. That cop was furious. He was yelling, you know, get out the car, put your hands on the car. He was yelling at me, come up behind me, you know, patted me down, frisked me, you know, go to the hood, don't move. I had it all. But I wasn't sitting there going, you know, yelling back at him, you can't do this, what did I do? I didn't do nothing, leave me alone, you can't do this. I shut up and I did what he said. He got my license, went and ran it, you know, I didn't have anything, didn't have any tickets, didn't have any warrants, didn't have nothing. So he come back. By the time he came back, and I still had not moved, I hadn't moved, I hadn't said a word, I had nothing, standing there. When he came back, he had calmed down and he explained to me what, you know, what I needed to do that was different. Now, because I hadn't done anything, I wasn't doing anything, I didn't get a ticket, I didn't get arrested, because he couldn't, I wasn't doing anything. But he calmly explained to me why he was so mad at me when I got out the car. He said if he pulled up on me and I just stayed sitting there, didn't move, you know, he would have just pulled up, not even got out of his car, rolled down his window and, you know, said, hey, you guys, you know, probably asked me what I was doing, but then said, you know, you can't be here, just leave. And that would have been it. Instead, you know, yeah, a lot of what you see on all these bad situations, the way it starts, I've had that before. I had that happen to me. But the point is, I did what I was supposed to do, which was be quiet, do what he said, do it calmly, and let him do his job. And because I didn't do anything wrong, nothing happened to me. So that's it. That's what I want to say. I've been rambling on about it, and I don't normally do this. I'm not going to make a habit of it. The thing I can say for what I do normally do and tell you about my experience and advice about it, I don't care if you're on a motorcycle and you think you can outrun the cops. Don't do it. Don't try. Just doesn't matter. If police come and they want to talk to you, you know, I can't give you the reason on why they want to talk to you. I don't know. If you're not doing anything, I don't know. But the point is, if you're not doing anything, just let them do their job. So that's it. It's over. That's how I feel about it. Think what you want about what I'm saying. Feel how you want. That's how I feel, okay? I think everybody is equal. I don't have a problem with anybody that is not breaking the law, so. And you know, one thing I think too, again, this is my view, but me being part of a small business owner now, with the rioting and stuff, I think if I was a small business owner or a business owner and I was in Charlotte when it came to day number 2, I guess day number 1 you didn't really know, but day number 2, I think I'd buy a no trespassing sign, post it up on the door when I close the shop for the day, and come the evening time I'd be sitting there with whatever I felt necessary for my protection. And anybody tried to break into, damage, loot my business, I think I would express my constitutional right to protect my well-being and the well-being of my business. You guys can figure out what that means. That's what I think I would do, and I'm surprised nobody did it. The last thing to close out is the fact that the way to solve this issue that isn't as big as what the media claims it to be is for officials, FDC or FDA, well, it's not FDA, FDA is drug, but whoever oversees, you know, the news media needs to basically clamp down and say, okay, obviously, you know, you're the media, you report things, we can't take that away from you, but you need all the truth, you need the truth and you need the facts before you put stuff out on air, otherwise we're shutting you down. And then act on it. The other thing, it's called elections. If you don't like the police department, guess what? If you're in a county and you have a county sheriffs, guess what? You get to elect the sheriff. So when the election comes, how about you kick the guy out that you don't like? Police commissioner in a big city, I don't think they get elected, they're appointed. But who appoints them? Figure it out. Is it the governor? It's not the governor, but you know what I'm saying? Is it the governor? Is it the mayor? Is it the city council? Figure it out and kick those people out, and maybe the person that you bring in will appoint a different one. Make that a point during the election process that this is what you don't like, this is what you want changed. Find somebody that'll run and, you know, says they're going to change these things, and then vote for that person. And that's how you change it. Because like I said, my personal, you know, my own personal, like, just like it's your right to protest, it's not your right, it's not a constitutional right to cause a riot. That's against the law. Again, protest, peaceful protest is fine. But if I'm involved in a riot and I feel threatened, I'm going to exercise my constitutional right to protect my well-being. And you guys, like I say, can take that as what you want and figure out what I'm talking about. But that's it. I'm gonna stop. That's what I have to say. That's my opinion on it. You know, as a country, let's get our shit together and, you know, fix it. But we'll fix it the right way. So, as always though, guys, when you're out on your bike, ride safe, enjoy. I'll see you on the next one, and it'll be a better, lighter topic.